Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis and Arundel County and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, February 13th, 2023. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. Well, the Chiefs and the Lighthouse won their respective Super Bowls. Heritage Baptist Church put on the Super Bowl, and it was fantastic. Had some great chicken noodle soup. I heard the potato soup was awesome, although I did not partake. They did raise $6,600 for the Lighthouse and are still taking donations. You can go to heritageloves.com, and in the upper right, there's a link to the Super Bowl. If you can, please give generously because we have so many neighbors in need. Anyhow, we do have a lot of news to catch up on, so shall we? Yes, that is the sound of gunshots in Easport on Saturday night. No word from the Annapolis police on this yet. We'll wait and see, but we do know that at least one apartment was hit at Harbor House with a bullet lodged in the ceiling of a bedroom where a child was sleeping. We did get a copy of a text sent to our elected officials by a resident, and I'm going to read this verbatim. Tonight we had a movie night. It was a fun family evening. As I'm walking up the stairs with my 8-year-old, shots ring out. My 10-year-old flies downstairs, freaking out. My teenagers are frantically watching out the window to see what's going on. I switch from bedtime mode to make sure no one's been shot mode, to call the cops mode, to pull up our cameras because the city cameras in our neighborhood don't work mode. I'd much rather be tucking my kids in, like you all with kids get or had the luxury of doing without fear of them getting shot. But since I live in Eastport, I guess I don't deserve that luxury, right? And the response so far to that text? Nothing. Something does need to change. An update on the helicopters and police presence in Eastport on Thursday evening. It seems that an armed man robbed the Annapolis Professional Pharmacy in West Annapolis and fled to Eastport near the Nautilus Point Apartments. After a manhunt, they did apprehend a 34-year-old Annapolis resident and charged him. However, it would have made sense for the Annapolis police to advise residents that an armed man was on the loose in their neighborhood, rather than just saying that they're looking for someone who committed a crime. And I heard that they did send out a text yesterday to Colony Hills residents advising them to stay indoors while police conducted activities. Now, we haven't heard what those activities are, but this technology is obviously there and it's obviously used. Maybe the police should answer why some neighborhoods are more deserving of that technology than others. And according to the Capitol, the lawsuit against the city from HACA residents for failure to inspect the properties has been certified as a class action lawsuit. This stems from Mayor Buckley's decision to stop inspections on HACA properties right after he was elected to his first term. If successful, the suit could cost the city $30 million, and it will apply to all HACA residents that lived there from May of 2018 to May of 2021, which they estimate to be about 1,700 people. By not inspecting HACA properties, they are saying that it is a civil rights violation as the city is treating one class of citizens differently than the others. Semi-annual inspections are required of all rental properties in the city. This is in addition to a previous suit that the city and HACA settled for similar claims for $1.8 million, and it is also separate from a wrongful death suit. Well, I was supposed to go into WRNR for the final morning show on Friday, but the owner pulled the plug on Thursday night at midnight and just aired commercials for the new app all day Friday. You can get that app wherever you get your apps, and it really basically just sends you to their website, which is still up. It's unknown how long that's going to remain viable, but at midnight on Friday, WRNR became WRBS 103.1, and it started broadcasting religious content with the goal of offering more people hope and encouragement. Congratulations to Humdinger Productions, Watermark Tours, the Heart Health Foundation, and Wildberry Farms and Market. All were selected for Small Business Awards by the Anne Arundel County Chamber of Commerce, and they will be honored at a breakfast on February 23rd. If you'd like to go and congratulate them and celebrate with them, we do have a link at eyeonannapolis.net. Kudos to Jacob from the Annapolis Patch. You want to check out the article he has there on Harper's Waterfront Restaurant. It is a new waterfront dining option opening later this month on Turkey Point in Edgewater. It is the brainchild of the owner of Cancun Cantina and Bamboo Birdies, and the GM has experience at O'Brien's, Chevy's, and Mission Barbecue. After putting nearly $3 million into the place, Harper's will stand out with a, quote, classy menu and, quote, presentation alone. Check out the full piece on Annapolis.patch.com, and I tell you, I can't wait to try this out. And, oh, it is reservations only. Did you catch canines and cross-treks on Friday? Did you check out the post on eyeonannapolis.net? Well, we met Max, a Maltese mix with a heart of gold and boundless energy. And make sure you tune into the DNB on Fridays at noon. We're going to have all the info on how to adopt our weekly guest or any of the other fine animals at the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. Speaking of pods, I do hope that you caught the local business spotlight with Peter and the newly reimagined Mitchell Art Museum at St. John's. Coming up this weekend, Patty Slaughter and the Bernie House. All right, that is a wrap. Thank you first and foremost. And also a quick thank you to our sponsors for today's Daily News Brief: Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Solar Energy Services, and Alpha Engineering. So now you just need to hang tight because we have Ann Alsina here with your Monday Money Report. And as always, George Young from DCMDVA Weather is here with the only locally forecast weather report you're going to find. All that coming up in just a bit, so hang around.
The benefits of a good night's sleep are well documented. Sleeping well prevents weight gain, improves concentration and creativity, and boosts the immune system. So, what keeps you up at night? If you run a business, then the security of your computer network may be one of those things. Threats like ransomware and phishing are becoming increasingly sophisticated and pose a real risk to any business. Don't let these cyber threats keep you up at night. At Alpha, they've been helping their customers sleep better for over 30 years by monitoring in real time and hardening network defenses. And for those irritating IT issues that arise every day, Alpha's just a phone call away, helping your business run smoothly and helping you sleep better, knowing Alpha is on guard. Give Alpha a call to see if they can ease your worries and help you get the rest you deserve. Find them at alphagetsit.com.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, February 13th. It finally turned a bit colder this weekend, but very warm temps will return today through Friday before dropping back to more normal levels for next weekend. Expect highs today in the mid or upper 50s with slightly breezy winds and maybe a little lingering rain this morning. But skies will start to clear today and will be nice tomorrow with sunshine and highs again in the mid-50s or so ahead of mixed skies Wednesday, with temps back up into the lower mid-60s ahead of a chance of rain Thursday with temps way above average, possibly around the 70-degree mark, with rain chances remaining Friday morning, with highs Friday again in the mid or upper 60s before breezy winds kick in out of the northwest, and colder air starts to move in with highs over the weekend back into the mid or upper 40s each day. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DCMDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there today. Stay healthy and be safe. And don't forget, follow DCMDVA Weather on Facebook and Twitter for regular updates each day, along with the website at dcmdvaweather.info. And definitely be sure to download the DCMDVA Weather app on all of your devices from either the Apple or Google App Stores, so you can always stay weather informed.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Have you been looking for ways to save money recently? Maybe you should consider solar energy for your home. Or are you waiting for the technology to get cheaper? If so, how long are you going to wait? Today's solar costs less than 20% of what it cost 10 years ago. But while solar prices have declined every year, so have the financial incentives. Bottom line, if you wait for cheaper solar, you're also waiting for lower incentives. Take my home, for example. My solar system was installed in 2010, and it's been paid off for almost 5 years, and I no longer have to buy any electricity for another 15 to 20 years. If I waited for cheaper solar, I'd still be paying an electric bill. At Solar Energy Services, we have thousands of satisfied customers who are sure glad they didn't wait. So what are you waiting for? Sunshine's a wasted. Call us today for a free solar design at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
You work hard for your money. Is your money working hard for you? Managing and investing, it can be confusing. Ann Alsina, a financial planner from CovingtonAlsina, has been helping people make sense of it all for over 17 years. Are you ready? Now here's your Monday Money Report.
This is Ann Alsina of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. The markets had their worst week of the year, with investors worried that the strong jobs report will lead the Fed to keep rates higher and longer than expected. The current unemployment rate of 3.4% is the best since 1969. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's remarks on Tuesday that lowering inflation to the central bank's 2% goal is likely to take quite a bit of time has spooked the market, which may make you wonder why, if you were near or in retirement, why would you invest in stocks at all? Retirement is often described as living on a fixed income. We get that term from the idea that when you retired, you maybe had a pension, which may or may not be adjusted for inflation every year, Social Security, and what investments you had went into bonds, which paid interest that was relatively stable or fixed. That worked well when the average retirement was 5 to 10 years. With COVID and the opioid crisis, life expectancy has dropped for Americans. Even so, longevity risk is a big problem in retirement planning. Currently, the average life expectancy for an American male is about 73, and for women it's 79. But that's the average from birth. If you look at a 60-year-old, the average male will live to 82, and the average female to 85. That's the average, which means that for every man who passes at 80, somebody else is living to 84. If you retire at 65 and live until 90, the price of everything will roughly double during that time. That fixed income we talked about that works for a 5 to 10-year retirement doesn't work for a 25-year retirement. Over the last 50 years, the S&P 500 had averaged a return of just over 10% a year. If you factor in inflation, it has risen just over 6% in real dollars. While there's no guarantee that will continue, or that you'll see that return in a short period of time, stocks remain the best bet for growing wealth over time. If you spend 4% of your wealth a year in retirement, a 6% inflation-adjusted return leaves you with growth in the portfolio to keep up with rising prices. A bond paying 4.5% just provides income today, with no room for growth for the future. The stock market can seem scary. On average, 1 of every 3 years is negative. But most of us aren't looking at a 3-year retirement. What's really scary is outliving your assets. Your action item this week is to check your health insurance for wellness programs and discounts. Many offer discounts, gift cards, or other incentives for completing health questionnaires and other wellness activities. Follow us on Facebook and check out our website at CovingtonAlsina.com for more information and great resources. Investment advice offered through Great Valley Advice Group, a registered investment advisor. All performance reference is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions voiced in this show for general information only are not to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be appropriate for you, contact the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Ann Alsina with CovingtonAlsina.
Coping with advanced illness can be overwhelming, and determining the best options for a loved one isn't always so easy. But here at Hospice of the Chesapeake, your hometown hospice, we want you to know you do have a choice. You can choose exactly who provides the care and the type of care you receive, and it's your decision when and where your loved one receives that care. We have served our community, family, and friends for over 40 years. We are there when you need us. Learn how we can help at hospicechesapeake.org.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.